lie again. Lie.
So this interesting report is basically brought to you by a committee called CEDAW. And CEDAW basically stands for Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. So the concern is that forms of media, including manga, anime, and video games, could potentially encourage gender-based or sexual orientation-based violence against women and girls. It recommends that Japan implement effective legal measures and monitoring programs to address the production and distribution of such content. So basically what they are asking for is that big word that everybody hates to hear, and that is the word censorship.
Watch your profanity.
Now I wasn't aware of this, but it seems that based on these clips of these or pictures of these videos, YouTube videos, it seemed that this UN fighting against anime has been going on for some time, hence the reason the title of this video. And also mentions that in the Anime Hunch article that a similar report was also made by the UN in 2016. The only thing that is different to the one that they made recently is that they included gender stereotypes. So it seems that the UN, again I was not aware of this, has this ongoing war to ban anime from the face of the earth. Interesting. But of course, Japan, they're a great money maker. They ain't gonna take this line down. As a matter of fact, one politician, Japanese politician by the name of Taro Yamada, had something very interesting to say about it. Here's this video clip of what he said based on that UN report.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Yeah, so he said something kind of like that. Anyway, so he's basically said or argued the point that the report claims are unfounded, the one made by the United Nations Committee. Their claims are unfounded and infringes on freedom of expression. He also called on that particular committee to disclose the sources and evidence behind their concerns and is considered requesting a retraction if this information is not provided. But at the end of the day, you could understand the politician's perspective because they are making this general statement about anime, manga, and by extension to video games, saying that they encourage violence and discrimination against women, and they aren't pointing to any specific examples of why they come to that particular conclusion. So sometimes you have to wonder, did they watch just one episode of Naruto that had Sakura in it? Alright, so wrapping things up, the committee recommends that Japan develop comprehensive strategies to dismantle gender stereotypes, promote positive portrayals of women in media, and effectively implement existing legal measures, censorship, to address the production and distribution of media that reinforces harmful stereotypes. The report also emphasizes the need to address gender stereotypes towards minority groups in Japan, including Ainu, Burakumin, and Zenchi Korean women and girls. It calls for effective measures to counter these stereotypes within relevant government sectors. Now, can somebody let me know in the comments, because they talk about certain groups of women. Anybody have any hint or idea or any anime, especially if you've been watching anime for a long time, what particular anime could be hinting towards these particular in the groups of people, or probably a video game? So again, let us know in the comments. And of course, as we've just mentioned before, it's all about censorship. But there were certain countries who didn't wait on the United Nations. There are certain anime, some of you may be aware of this already, but there's certain anime that are banned in certain countries around the world. For example, there's one anime called Kite. that particular anime is banned in the country of Norway. Then we have, of course, good old China, which also has banned anime like, for example, Attack on Titan, Death Note, as well as Tokyo Ghoul. And this one was a very interesting one to find out that Record of Ragnarok, that is banned in India, and Pokemon, Saudi Arabia has banned that anime as well. So what do you think? Do you think that the United Nations, as they say, as we discussed before earlier in the video, that their, you could say, so-called war against anime and manga, is it justified? Do you think that they are onto something? The fact that they are basically saying that anime, manga, and video games have this bad or portray women in a very bad and or derogatory light? Or do you think that they're just making an issue out of absolutely nothing? Again, let us know in the comment section below. Now, just thinking about it, there may be persons who may kind of agree with what the UN report says, because one thing that they could definitely point to is fan service in anime. I'm not a fan of it, but I'm sure many persons also are not fans of it as well and could point to that as an example of women being shown in a derogatory way. But as I say, if there's something that offends me, I'm not going to be a keyboard warrior and complain on Twitter or social media about it. I just won't watch it.
Yes, exactly.
So it's a nice reminder that at the end of the day, anime becoming popular is a mistake, because the more anime becomes popular, and as we, from videos that I have made before, many persons are basically saying, especially these Japanese creators, whether it is on the anime side or manga side, have always expressed their opinion that they want to be free to tell the stories that they want to tell. But in these sensitive times that we're living in, we're going to see more and more of these reports made by persons in government or the United Nations, as an example, who would want to see these things quote-unquote regulated, censored, or outright banned and gotten rid of. But if you have gotten to the end of this video, I thank you so much for watching this video all the way up to the end. And I have another interesting video for you to check out, because it's in relation to the anime industry, how it needs to improve, it needs to evolve, especially with the example of Blue Lock toilet bowl animation. But don't forget, in order for you to access that video, you need to click on the subscribe button. So that's it. Go on.